It is the start of a really big week for Duel Links. Of course, you have the World's Finals happening over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which we're expecting a big reveal for the September update. Could it be Rush Duels, Rituals? Could it be Jeg's revamp? Could it be something completely different? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But there's a bunch of campaigns going on. We've got a VRAINS World increase. Finally, after 9 months of waiting from December last year, it is finally here, and it's not really that great card-wise, right? I think it wasn't worth the wait. We've got a brand new character unlock. Well, no, it's an alt style. We've got a new mini box coming. A whole bunch of things to go through. Let's dive right in first of all with the new campaign. Well, new as in last week, because I missed it. We're getting free dream tickets for Rush Duel and Speed Duel. You are dream tickets, that's pretty cool. And then for the World's Finals, we're getting a free Blossom or Dragon, free Poly, both in the cool Japanese art style. We've got more dream tickets, more gems. All of them are very much appreciated. And of course, the Champion Edition campaign for Speed Duel and Rush Duel. I'm going to go for, let's go for Paris for one of my Speed Duel players. And I guess we'll go for, who have I actually heard of? You know what? We're gonna go on Norrentino. Why not? We'll see if we can do it. We'll see if we can do it. And then for Rush Duel, we go down. Oh, it's a tough one, right? Paco or Shelmy or Giorfio. I think we've got to go Giorfio for this one, right? Vote for Giorfio. And we're going to, of course, to get our lovely items. Free packs, free gems, and of course, can win a big amount of gems, which is pretty cool. There's also in the shop some bundles for the Worlds campaign, giving out the free copies, well, you know, free bonus copies of the Dark Magician Girl and the Dark Magician. The accessories look really cool. Of course, it's also available in Master Duel via the bundle, and so it is nice to see this year they decided to not paywall the bundle. Right, last year for Breaker, it was paywall. This year, it's free, but of course, you are using it on the latest main box or whatever box is available. So if you want to wait for the mini box, you can do. If you want to wait and see if we get a Jigsaw revamp, you can also wait till then because they're available until mid-October. So you've got plenty of time for those. We then have the VRAINS cap increase, which, again, as I said, isn't looking too good. Right, for Playmaker, you've got a new trap card in Silent Circuit, which brings back some link material, right, for you to then see someone off. It's not going to be played. Soulburner, though, he got a third copy of Blaze Dragon, which, of course, is not going to be played at all. However, Will is a pretty solid continuous spell card. It's the only card here they got at one copy of, and this probably makes it into the deck. Salamander, of course, haven't really done too much since January, right? Since they were really, really good with the release of Alt Style, and this will help them, but it's not going to make them broken, tier 0, whatever. Goki for Gore, what do you get? You got Goki Guts, which is fine. I don't think it's one of the new ones, though, because they got more support in Doom Dimensions or something not long ago. We are still waiting on more support. Maybe down the line, if we get the Gore plus Earth for some reason, you'll get those instead of G-Golem. You know, at this point, given today's event, I'd kind of expect it, honestly. Then for Blue Angel, we've got Marincess Bubble Ring, which doesn't really make much sense because, of course, Marincess is Blue Maiden stuff, but it does seem like, in addition to the alt style we got today, being the Blue Gal, we are going to potentially be seeing Blue Maiden as an alt style as well, which we kind of know from the event description, right, saying we're getting alt styles for a character, multiple, plural, and as well as the fact that in the event description, talk about in a minute, she's got a bunch of reward cards for Marincess, and the box is Marincess, and there's no new Trick Stars in the box. Given there's a whole bunch of them in her level 4 event deck, they could have brought in, and they gave this out for free. Literally, you win one duel, you got Blue Gal's alt style. Varus Revolver, what did you get? You got the Zero Day Blast, of course, featuring the Zeroboros in the artwork. Target Darlink you control, then pop cards as well because of link rating, so popping 4 is pretty good, but it's a trap card, and so probably not going to be used, unfortunately. Spectre also got a trap card. He got the 1x1, which, like, I guess theoretically like works with the Loki, right? That's level 1 plant vanilla, and so that I guess like the thematic linking here, but still it's not a very good card. Emma, Ghost Girl, got the Haunted Rock, which is probably like the second best card in this bunch, right? I don't think you'll play it, but they're still missing so many cards, right, that they could bring. You know, I actually would have thought they would have gone down, like, even if they didn't get Trick Stars here, they would have gone, okay, you know what, the event's focusing around Blue Gal and Ghost Gal, surely you'd give more support for Altergeist. but no, they haven't done that either. And finally for Tindangle, you've got your Lusaki, you've got the Field Spell, which they've been waiting for a while now. It is Limit 2, for some reason. And so, overall, it's obviously good. You know, we've got an extra, 450 gems per character. That's going to be around 3,600-ish across the entire world, which is cool. It's not a lot because VRAINS world is lacking characters anyway, but it's better than nothing. And is it worth the 9-month extra wait we had to wait compared to when we should have had it back in December? No, not really, but it's still nice to have. We've then got the Blue Gal event, which is a standard gate event, right, which we saw Soul Burner, which we didn't really like. Giving one style of our Soul Burner, but it does seem like we're going to be getting multiple again, given they've got to put something here. Like, it makes sense to have Blue Maiden unlock here, around the release of the box. But also, you go down to rewards, and you're getting stuff like Marin's Great Bubble Reef and Sleep Maiden, which they mention here is the Ace monster of Blue Maiden. Which means if there is no animation for this card, then that's going to be very, very disappointing, especially given we just saw, 5Ds had the red card rolled out for it, giving you animations. It makes sense why Blue Gal doesn't have one, because it's Holy Angel, that's fine, but if we get Blue Maiden and there's no animation for this, that's really going to suck. Now, both these cards are going to be played. This, of course, is the boss you're going to be ending on most of the time, right? Which just gets really big every time a card is banished. Get to draw and then bring back those cards out on your next turn, which is pretty solid overall. And that's not all for Marincess, right? We also got, in the card trader, we got a new card in Mandarin, which is a really good extender, that in TCG you play like 1 or 2 of. So in Duel Links, you probably play 1 of this, given the lower deck size. This card is fantastic. And then for Rush Duel as well, we actually got a new card, wherever the hell it is. It is the Ultimate Flag Beast-led Unicorn. Obviously, we have already Flag Mech Ace Breaker, we have the Aim Eagle. This is just like a long overdue support card for that deck type. Also be used in Cyber Dragons, right? Because it can summon back a Cyber Dragon from your hand if you had a Fill Field, which isn't so bad, right? But will it see play at the moment? Probably not. We need more support. But of course, the big thing is the brand new mini box. Now, we haven't got the skills yet, which is kind of important, and for some reason, they decided to not actually tell us them. We're getting them on the 26th when the box drops, so I imagine it's because they're trying to, like, keep that Blue Maiden potential alt-style under wraps, even though, her name is in the bloody credits, it's in the event description, we know we're getting multiple alt-styles for one character, there's only one thing it could be, and so we'll have to see how that turns out. However, we are getting Visa Starfrost, which is weird because we just saw in last main box, we got Duel Star, so unlike last time, where we were going through the branded lore in main boxes, it does seem like we'll be doing the Snake Eye lore in main boxes, and then the Visas lore in mini boxes, which is certainly a way to do it. It means that Cash Tier, whenever they come, will be a mini box deck, in theory. Of course, they can just switch things up at random, which they are prone to doing, so we'll see how that all works out. I've not really played with these cards at all. Of course, Telements are like the big Visas lore deck that people are kind of waiting for and seeing if they could come to Duel Links. Hopefully not. Probably the better boss, right, for Marincess, Aqua Argonaut. It is negated by special summoning out a Marincess card that's equipped to it, which of course you use with the field spell to just buff up your guys. And in Duel Links, the issue is you've only got 3 zones. And so you're only going to be gaining, like 1,200 probably, because you probably want to save one of your back row for something generic like a Droplet or a Book of Moon or something. So I don't know how good the deck is going to be overall, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, we're getting Mathmech Sigma. We're not getting Circular, we're not getting the other Link 4. Link 4 exceeds 4, right? If we go and look at Mathmech and see what we're missing. I think we're getting Final Sigma, but we're not getting Circular, and we're not getting the Allen version. Perulia is the weird one, right? The shock horror of the box, right? We're getting Wild Charmies, which people thought wasn't going to happen in Duel Links. This, of course, being a draw every time your opponent also summons from the hand, which is probably going to be relevant. It might not be as relevant as in Master Duel, right? Because, of course, you have got skills that do cheat things out from the extract or from the deck, for example, so you have got ways around it. But it is, of course, going to be independent, right? If you have a deck that is just going to be like, yeah, if Zodiac was good, for example, then this would not be a good card to play against Zodiac. But also, just like, it is a good card you can send away for skills, for Droplet, that kind of thing. So if it's, if it's your first turn, you drop this, then that's good. If it's your second turn, it is discard fodder for a good chunk of skills that can just, use this to get access to a starter card and go to town from there. So I feel like this will see play, but I'm not sure how good it's going to be, how drastic it'll be, right? You can look at some hand traps and go, okay, on release, they weren't very good, but like 3 months down the line, they become really good. The metagame becomes important. Like, you look at Nibiru, right? On launch, wasn't the best. Then a couple months later, became really good, and then it kind of fell off again. And then you got the same with Droll. So we'll see how that all kind of works out. Of course, Marinus Dive being SR, this is a 2-3 of in the deck. You've got Spring Girl, which is a 2-3 of. Blue Tang is 2-3 of. Like, maybe you play less of this. I'm currently playing the deck in the Master event, National Anthology, and it's quite a fun deck for me personally, but again, it is going to struggle with the zones. And the weird thing is, they've made Wonderheart a Limit 1, which is very dumb. Now, I don't know, it's been a while, again, since I've like been super tricked at Speed Duel. What is Limit 1 that you'd actually want to play alongside this, right? Because I don't think there's much of anything here that is really going to hurt. Like, I guess Terraforming. They don't want you going Terraforming for the field spell, and then using your Blue Angel, your Sea Angel, on the search for your dive. I assume that's the interaction you don't want to have, which is fine, I guess, but okay. We're getting, what else are we getting? We're getting Scareclaw Arrival, we're getting Tryhard, we're getting Rykart. I guess, like, we'll look at Scareclaw real quick and see how much we have, because I believe it's like the majority of Wave 1. Yeah, we haven't got the Castillo one, which is fine, and then a couple other cards, so they've got a good amount, and also they're low rarity. So you can probably get by on like 2 runs the box maybe for Scareclaw. Marinus, of course, is going to be a 3 of, given you've got Blue Tang, you've got the dive as well. Mathmech also is probably going to be a 3 of, but maybe a 2 of, it just depends on what our skill does if we get one, if it's going to be any good. The issue with Marinus, though, is, I guess Limit 3. Limit 3 on Wave. What is Limit 3 on in Duel Links right now? What is clashing? So nothing here we'd play. You can't really go for the Therion stuff. I'm not really... Book of Eclipse, I guess, is like your main target there. Econ, sure. It's a bit of a weird one there, right? But the weirder thing is when we look at actually cards that we didn't get. We didn't get Marble Rock. And this one is really important for link climbing into your Link 4s. So I don't quite get why this wasn't given to us. I would imagine when the rerun comes around, it's going to be Marbled Rock and Crown Tail, right? Like, it could be Aqua Angel. But Aqua Angel, I feel like they could easily put in a selection box or something close to the time and give us it that way, because it's a support card for Trickstars and Marinus. So maybe when we do eventually get the missing Trickstar support, which most of this is available in a level 40 deck, then maybe this will come alongside that. And that'll be, maybe that's the push for the rerun, right? Initial release is Marinus, rerun is Trickstars. That at least does make some sense. So it's going to be interesting to see how this does. Of course, it's releasing on 26th, so 2 days to wait, not too long. Am I going into it? Who knows? I'm not sure, right? It depends on how good Marinus ends up being, I think, and how costly it'll be. But also, like, we're going to find out what's happening with the World Championship with the brand new world a few days later. So it might be worth waiting, holding your gems to see, is there any hint as to what is happening at the end of September, right? Because if we get to the world's reveal and it's like, here's a big GX revamp, then you're probably going to save your gems for that, because you can probably assume we'll be getting some pretty good stuff, given recently we've had, Ubel, Sacred Beast stuff. Like, there's plenty they can bring from a TCG that was good in TCG into Duel Links and will probably be good in Duel Links as well. So we'll have to wait and see, like, you look at Cyber Dragons, right? They're missing so much support they got in Duel Links China recently. Heroes as well, got Darklaw in Duel Links China, that could come over. It depends on what we get. That's my thoughts overall on the brand new Duel Links update for VRAINS World. It is a bit of a mixed bag overall, right? We'll see how things turn out. Hopefully, Blue Maiden be unlockable, right? If they make her an alt style, that'll be awful. If she's a surprise character that maybe has, the Marble Rock in there, that'll be great. But if we go to the event, right, we'll go back to the event real quick. I'm going to go all over the place and look at the details. Go to the event deck, right? And you can see that we're going to be able to be playing with Marinus stuff, right? With stuff from the box. And usually, the event exclusive deck are for playable characters that we can actually unlock. So we can go in, and buy the cards and play with them. So, probably does mean we're getting Blue Maiden in a few days. We'll have to wait and see. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me if they just decided, you know what, you can play Marisol Blue Gal, which makes no sense at all. But it wouldn't surprise me, given this update has been a little bit weird around the edges. So, leave your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Adios.